Hi, my name's Sara Gruen. Please excuse my manly voice as I'm a bit sick. So, as everyone knows, my book, Water for Elephants, is about a boy named Jacob who leaves his old life to join a traveling circus, the Benzini brothers. Throughout the novel, he meets a performing elephant, Rosie, a beautiful woman, Marlena, and finally, her husband, August. Sadly, the elephant is abused throughout the book by August. However, he also abuses his wife Marlena. Jacob forms a love for both Marlena and Rosie, and so he fights for both of their protection from August. At the end of the book, Rosie kills August brutally, ending their misery. But what if everything could be interpreted differently? What if, at the end of the book, you found out that Rosie and Jacob were actually the same person? What if Rosie and Marlena were just projections of Jacob's mind, and all this time Jacob was a performer working under August? What if they had an abusive student-teacher relationship, and August constantly beat Jacob for messing up? Due to his disappointment of no one helping him, the projections of Marlena and Rosie, created by Jacob in his head, to picture a scenario in which someone else was being abused by August, and the scenario in which he could stand up for them and help them. What if, at the end, Jacob has enough of August, and the fact that no one helps him, and he brutally kills August like Rosie did in the original story? This would be an interesting alternative ending because it would relate to the topic of animal rights, which is very significant in my book. This ending shows that abusing animals is the same as abusing humans and should never be done because life is life, regardless of whether it is a human being or not. So yeah, Jacob equals Rosie. So now on to Ape House, a novel I wrote about bonobos. If only I could go back in time and somehow rewrite the book and change the story. But what would I change? Uh, Let me try rewriting the story. Isabel meets John and the lab explodes. Peter cheats on Isabel. Isabel finds out that Ken Fox, a porn producer, has exploited the bonobos by having them on a new reality TV show. Later, Isabel discovers that her ex, Peter, and Ken plan to bomb the lab so they could take the bonobos. Isabel and John save the bonobos from Ken. 6 months later, John's wife is pregnant, and Isabel gets the bonobos a new big home, and they all live happily ever after. So that's the old story. Now, what can be changed? Wait, what if Amanda, John's wife, was also somehow involved with the reality TV show Ape House and the entire lab bombing? That's it. That's what I'm gonna change. So, the new part of the story. Due to the rejection of her books by editors and publishers, Amanda is forced to change her career, and so she starts working for Ken. But she does not tell John because Ken was his old boss. The rest of the story stays the same except for this. John is now also present at the time when Isabel finds out that Peter and Ken were the masterminds behind the bombing, but they also find out that Amanda was involved too. John is now in a state of shock, and he immediately reevaluates his relationship with Amanda. This leads John and Isabel to get closer, and eventually he gets a divorce from Amanda. During the divorce process, he finds out that Amanda cheated on him with a woman. Now moving on to the end. John and Isabel save the bonobos, but only 4, because Ken kills the others due to the decrease in views for his show, and one of the bonobos die giving birth. In the end, John and Isabel start dating, and they get funding to create a new home for the bonobos where they can all be free.